honor our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The second salawat in the honor of Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam. The third with your louder voice in the honor of Imam of our time, Imam Safar ushers among days. हुसैनियत की फिजा आम करने आई है, यजीदियत को गुमनाम करने आई है। 4 साल की बच्ची है पर हुसैन की है, ये तख्त शाम को नीलाम करने आई
है। भाई वाह वाह, फिर पढ़ो उसको, फिर से पढ़ो बेटा।
हुसैनियत की फिजा आम करने आई है, यजीदियत को गुमनाम करने आई है। 4 साल की बच्ची है पर हुसैन की है, ये तख्त शाम को नीलाम
बहुत अच्छे बेटा।
Mu'mineen and Mu'minat. Today I'm going to recite about Bibi Sakina. Bibi Sakina was the youngest daughter of Imam Hussain. She was a child full of love and happiness. Everyone loved Sakina. She was also a very religious girl. She enjoyed reading the Holy Quran and never missed her prayers. From the age of 2, she took great care to make sure that her head and face were properly covered when in public. Sakina was Imam Hussein's most beloved child. Our Imam was often heard to say, a house without Sakina would not be worth living in. She always had a sweet and cheerful smile and a very friendly nature. She was very generous and always shared whatever she had with others. There was a special bond between Hazrat Abbas and Bibi Sakina. He loved her more than he did his own children. If Sakina requested for anything, Abbas would not rest until he satisfied her request. There was nothing that Hazrat Abbas would not do to make Sakina happy. During the journey from Medina to Makkah and then Makkah to Karbala, Hazrat Abbas was often seen riding up the Mehmed in which Sakina sat to make sure that she had everything she wanted. Sakina loved her Uncle Abbas very much. When Bibi Sakina went to bed at night, she wanted to spend some time with her father. Imam Hussain would tell her stories of the Prophet and the battles fought by her grandfather, Imam Ali.
Jazakallah beta, shabash, wah.
She would rest her head on her father's chest, and Imam Hussain would not move from her until she fell asleep. When from the 2nd of Muharram, the armies of Yazid began to gather at Karbala. Hussain said to his sister Zainab, "The time has come for you to get Sakina to used to going to sleep without me being there." Sakina would follow her father at night, and Hussain had to gently take her to Bibi Zainab or Bibi Ruba. At Karbala, when from the 7th of Muharram, water became scarce, Sakina shared whatever little water she had with other children. When soon there was no water left at all, the thirsty children would look at Sakina hopefully, and because she could not help them, she would have tears in her eyes. Sakina's lips were parched with thirst. On the Ashura day, she gave her mush to Hazrat Abbas. He went to get water for her. The children gathered around Sakina with their little cups, knowing as soon as Hazrat Abbas brought any water, Sakina would first make sure that they had some before taking any herself. When Sakina saw the Imam Hussain bring the blood-drenched alam, she knew that her Uncle Abbas had been killed. From that day on, Sakina never complained of thirst. Then the time came when the earth shook and Sakina became an orphan, but even then she always thought of others first. She would console her mother on the death of Ali Esther, and when she saw any other lady or child weeping, Sakina would put her little arms around her. Yes, Sakina never again asked anyone for water. Bibi Zainab would pursue her to take a few sips, but she herself would never ask for water or complain of thirst. From the time when Imam Hussain fell in the battlefield, Sakina forgot to smile. Quite often she would sit up at night. When asked if she wanted anything, she would say, "I just heard a baby cry. Is it Esther? He must be calling out for me." Knowing that her weeping upset her mother, Sakina would cry silently and quickly wipe away her tears. In the prison in Sham, she would stare at the flock of birds flying to their nests at sunset and innocently ask Bibi Zainab, "Will Sakina be going home like those birds flying to their homes?" Then, one dreadful night, Sakina went to bed on the cold floor of the prison. For a long time, she stared into the darkness. The time for the morning prayers came. Sakina was still lying with her eyes wide open. Her mother called out, "Wake up, Sakina, wake up. It's time for prayers, my child." There was only the painful silence. The prison's walls began to shake with the cry, "Ya Sakina, Ya Masluma." Our fourth Imam walked up to where Sakina lay. He put his hand on her forehead. It was cold. He put his hand near the mouth and nose. Sakina had stopped breathing. In between sobs, Imam Zain al-Abidin said, "Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un."